Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and for match number 111, we've got the Dojo Master Mustard going up against the Sinnoh Elite 4 Bertha. Both of these trainers are from round 2, currently have a 2-0 record for the tournament. Back in round 2, Mustard took on the Pokemon Professor Kukui, who was best known for taking out a Primal Kyogre. And Bertha probably had the easiest match in this tournament, going up against Elisa. Mustard's got the Gigantamax Urshifu, which might be a little overpowered, while Bertha's got that Mega Steelix. Once these trainers are ready, we can see who will be going on to round 4. Mustard leading off with the Lycanroc, Bertha with the Donphan. Lycanroc starting off by setting up a Stealth Rocks as Donphan with the Earthquake takes Lycanroc down to that Focus Sash. Lycanroc with the Excel Rocks gonna deal a little bit to that Donphan as Ice Shard goes for the kill on that Lycanroc. That was a weird phrasing, but I'll roll with it. Mustard sitting out that Mienshao here. Going for the fake out, doing 11%, getting that free damage on. Post combat's gonna do just under half to that Donphan. Play Rough is gonna take out the Mienshao. And Mustard just sending out the Urshifu already. This is undoubtedly one of the most terrifying Pokemon in this tournament. Especially because of that. Ice Shard's going to do 8% as Max Knuckle takes out that Donphan. I thought I just saw that say 3.5 times attack. I was about to get really confused. Bertha sitting at the Hippowdon, starting up that Sandstorm. G-Max one blow with a critical hit takes out the Hippowdon. Urshifu, genuinely one of the most terrifying Pokemon here. Bertha sending out the Steelix here. Going to Mega Evolve, Max Knuckle doesn't take out the Steelix as Urshifu is going to return to normal size after that Gyro Ball hits. Urshifu with +2 attack, close combat takes out the Steelix. It's currently 4v3 right now. Urshifu's not going to survive another turn of Sandstorm as Bertha sends out that Mamoswine. Ice Shard takes out the Urshifu. It's currently 3v3 right now. Mustard sending out that Corviknight. Going for the body press on Rhyperior, only doing 17%. Revealing that Hippowdon does have that Smooth Rock with the extra turns of Sandstorm. Ironhead with crits and a flinch takes out that Rhyperior. Bertha sending out the Gliscor, gonna take a little bit from those Stealth Rocks. Mustard sending out the Luxray as Gliscor goes for a Thunder Fang but misses. The Sandstorm does end. Earthquake gonna take Luxray down to 7%. Psychic Fang's gonna do a little over a quarter to Gliscor. Another Earthquake does take out that Luxray, and Como is sent out here. This is a Pokemon we don't see a lot of, but if given the chance to, it can be quite a terrifying Pokemon. Clanging Scales with a crit takes out the Gliscor, and it's all down to this Mamoswine here. Ice Shard does take out that Como, and it's all down to Corviknight. Icicle Spear, gonna do quite a lot of damage to Corviknight, but Ironhead does finish off that Mamoswine, and Mustard on his last Pokemon takes game 1. We didn't see anything from Rhyperior or Hippowdon other than the Sandstream and the Smooth Rock. We saw the Mega Steelix with Gyre Ball. We saw the Stealth Rocks on Lycanroc. We are back on the field for game number 2, and we'll see if Bertha can pull some luck out of thin air and bring this to a game 3. Mustard leading off with that Lycanroc once again. Bertha leading off with the Hippowdon. Lycanroc starting off with those Stealth Rocks. Earthquake's gonna take Lycanroc down to that Sash. Kind of a repeat from last game. Play Rough's gonna do 17% as Earthquake takes out that Lycanroc. Bertha once again taking the first KO. Mustard sending out the Mienshao, going for Fake Out, getting free damage in. Gonna U-turn out this time into the Corviknight as Hippowdon goes for Slack Off. Ironhead's gonna do 20% to Corviknight as Ice Fang does 13% to it. Corviknight. Both Pokemon are not gonna be bothered by this Sandstorm. Corviknight switches out to Urshifu. And with the Ice Fang and Sandstorm is down to 78% health right now. Max Knuckle does a third to Hippowdon. And Body Press is going to do a quarter to Urshifu. G-Max One Blow does take out that Hippowdon. The Sandstorm does end. Urshifu sitting at just a little over a third of HP with +1 in its attack. Last game we did see Mega Steelix survive this. And Gyre Ball does take out that Urshifu this time. Mustard sending out the Mienshao. Fake Out I can't imagine is going to do a lot here. I mean, it'll still be free chip damage. Going for it, doing 3% to Steelix. Post Combat does take out that Steelix, bringing it to 4v4 right now. Both gimmicks on both teams are down, so it's all just regular Pokemon from here on out, for this game at least. Mienshao going for the U-turn, doing a quarter and switching into that Corviknight. Icicle Spear's gonna do about 50, like 40%. Ironhead's gonna do just over a third to Gliscor. Gliscor is not gonna like these rocks, not as much as the other Pokemon. Gets the flinch on that Thunder Fang. Going for another Thunder Fang. Ironhead's gonna do over a third again. Citrus Berry heals Gliscor up to 40%. Intimidate gonna be blocked by that Hyper Cutter. Earthquake finishes off Luxray. Mienshao is sent back out here. Fully healed. Fake Out gonna flinch that Gliscor. Gets more free chip damage in. U-turn with the crit's gonna do 17% to Gliscor. Barely holding on, switching into that Corviknight. Acrobatics does take out the Corviknight. Mienshao is back out here once again. Fake Out does take out that Gliscor. And Bertha is down to 3 Pokemon, sending out that Donphan now. We've seen this thing have Earthquake and Ice Shard. Post Combat's gonna do just under half to Donphan. Play Rough takes out the Mian Xiao. And it's down to Como once again. Not once again, but Playing Scales takes out the Donphan. And Como is currently -1 to defense. Ice Shard is gonna finish off Como, and Bertha, with 2 Pokemon remaining, takes game number 2. Putting up more of a fight that time. We didn't see anything new from Steelix. That's right, I forgot Steelix has Sand Force. We didn't see anything new from Rhyperior. We saw everything from Hippowdon. We saw nothing from Luxray. Nothing new from Corviknight, Como, or Urshifu. We are back on the field for game number 3. Mustard's got 1 win. Bertha's got 1 win. We're gonna see which trainer moves on to round 4. Mustard leading off with the Mian Xiao as Bertha leads off with that Hippowdon. A different lead for Mustard. Fake Out, gonna get that flinch on the Hippowdon. Gonna waste a turn of Sandstorm. Switching out to the Urshifu. Ice Fang's gonna do 18% to Urshifu. Urshifu Dynamaxing. Max Knuckles gonna do less than a third to Hippowdon. Body Press doing about a third to Urshifu. Going for another Max Knuckle. Hippowdon surviving on 4%. As another Body Press takes out the Urshifu. Bertha, for the 3rd game in a row, has taken the first KO. Mian Xiao sent back out here. Switching out to the Rhyperior as Fake Out does 4% to Rhyperior. Rhyperior, quite the physical wall. Close Combat's going to do just over half to Rhyperior. Thunder Punch takes out the Mian Xiao. No bias, by the way, but Rhyperior is one of my favorite Pokemon. Mustard sending out the Como. This Pokemon might do a bit more damage to Rhyperior, or especially with special moves. Aura Sphere does take out that Rhyperior. And Bertha sends out that Donphan. You've seen this thing with Ice Shard and Play Rough, dealing over half to Lycanroc. Lycanroc setting up the Stealth Rock as Earthquake finishes off Lycanroc. Luxray gonna get that Intimidate on Donphan. As Bertha switches out to Hippowdon. I guess getting a free switch in. Kind of. Gliscor is being sent out. Earthquake's gonna do nothing to that Corviknight. Thunderfang's gonna be super effective and get the paralysis on that Corviknight. Thunderfang's doing under a third, getting a flinch on it too. Not only is Corviknight having to make through the flinches, but also the paralysis as well. And another Thunderfang, it takes out the Corviknight. Mustard is sending out the Como here. Acrobatics gonna do just under half. Playing the Scales takes that Como, or takes that Gliscor out. Mamoswine is sent out here. Switching out to the Luxray, getting the Intimidate off. Ice Shard's gonna do 20% to Luxray. Switching out to the Steelix. Psychic Fang's gonna do a mere 8% to Steelix. Crunch gonna do 15%. Earthquake's gonna take out Luxray. And all down to Como once again. Aura Sphere takes Steelix down to 7%. Gyro Ball not affecting the Como because of that bulletproof. I don't know how it rolling into a ball is considered a bullet, but It helps Como survive another turn. Bertha is sending out the Donphan. Ice Shard gonna take Como plus that Citrus Berry down to 39%. Ice Shard takes Como down to 3%. And it's 1-on-1 right now. Ice Shard takes out Como. And with one Pokemon left, and Bertha taking game number 3, which means that she'll be moving on to round 4, where she'll be facing off against the winner of tomorrow's match, Lusamine or Glacia. Mustard had quite a good fight, but thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.